Hello. I think it's live. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Internet. I'm Emily. This is Dan. And today we're going to be making a little bit of cauliflower soup and answering some questions from my Instagram. I had said at our last live stream when someone asked if I wanted to do this monthly that I would, and then I promptly forgot about that. But now we're here, and I think we're going to have a fun time. Yeah, and thanks. I see we have 3 people already watching. Thanks for being here. And cauliflower soup. Let's just start right there. So I have a whole head of cauliflower roasting in the oven. I have the way that I did that was
decapitated that cauliflower.
I cut it down into like florets, and then I put it in a bowl. Put olive oil, salt, pepper, smoked paprika.
Red pepper? Did you do that?
No, I'm gonna do that with the beans. I'm gonna do some cannellini beans in this.
Smells really good already.
Cumin and coriander. Those were the things. And salt and pepper. Did I say salt and pepper? I'm sure I said salt and pepper, but if I didn't, salt and pepper. So that's roasting in the oven. We're roasting it at 400 for like half an hour to 40 minutes. And then the other things I'm going to do. Hey, good evening from California. Good evening from New York. We're making our dinner basically right now. And, I'm excited about it. I also, before this live stream, I put a question up on my Instagram if anyone had any questions. So I actually have some questions that I'm going to answer while we make our cauliflower soup.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's a roasted cauliflower soup. Oh, I also didn't say hello. I can't talk today. Elena. Hi. Hi, Laura. Hi, Kyle. So what are we doing? We're making cauliflower soup. It's roasted cauliflower soup. Oh, and roasted garlic. So I have a whole head of garlic roasting in the oven also. And if you haven't done that, I feel like everyone's always like, oh, it's so easy. But then I didn't do it until like this year. And then I was like, oh, it is so easy. So the way that I roast garlic is I just cut like the top of the head off. And then I put olive oil and salt and wrap it in foil and put it in the oven for like 400 degrees for like 20 to 30 minutes. So that's super easy. So once our roasted cauliflower and roasted garlic comes out, oh, thank you so much. I liked fooling around as a level 1 too, but I'm very excited to get to use some more like fun ingredients and like, take it to the next level a little.
You can fool around with more and different things.
Your mom says hi as well. Hi, Mom. So yeah, what am I doing? I feel like I have a hard time not just looping and telling everybody the same thing over and over on these live streams, but I'm not going to do that today. Hi, Orville Conception Reviews. What do you review? I keep meaning to look you up and find out more about you when I see your name. So let me tell you a little bit more about the cauliflower soup that we're making, and then we'll get into some questions from Instagram. And if you guys have any questions that are watching right now, if you folks have anything that you want to ask, feel free to pop it in the chat.
I've been deputized to help.
Yeah, Dan's here hanging around to be helpful and provide emotional support because I don't want to accidentally spiral on a live stream,
Ooh, Power Ranger toys.
Power Ranger toys, very cool. So this is what I'm making tonight is a roasted garlic and cauliflower soup with cannellini beans and coconut milk. So you can actually make this vegan. Mine's not going to be vegan because I'm going to be using chicken stock. What else do I need to tell you about it? So basically I have roasted cauliflower and roasted garlic in the oven. I'm going to pull them out and put them in a blender with my coconut milk and then reheat them with the chicken stock. And then I'm going to separately, and add some of my cannellini beans in there. And then separately, I'm going to saute some cannellini beans with garlic, red pepper flakes, and salt, pepper, and some herbs. And then we're going to dress it with some scallions and lemon. That's what you're going to see happening. If my alarms are going off, it's because I'm also making this soup.
It's planned. Alarms.
They're planned alarms. It's on purpose.
Not facing interstellar attack.
Right. Yeah. Which, the little like songs that my alarms play would be a pretty fun interstellar attack alert. How are you? Question number 1. Good. Actually, today was kind of a mess. The first thing I did today was I opened up our freezer to get ice for I do like iced coffee in the morning sometimes. And a freezer pack fell and hit my foot. Just like start the day off on the actual wrong foot. If they ever revisit French toast, please keep the ketchup side. It was so fun to see the reactions. I agree. It was fun that people reacted so strongly. That really is the French toast that my dad made when I was growing up. And we do make it sometimes here. But also I am aware of the other kinds of French toast that have like sugar in them. I feel like now that I'm a level 2, if they went back, I would either have to prepare like savory French toast with tomato condiment or like just a real like proper French toast. But I think I might play around with that on my channel also, because one of the things I was going to say, little inside tip, is that going forward into the next month or so, one of the things I want to do is revisit some of the things that I've messed up in the past and see if I can do them a little better now that I'm level 2. Or share some recipes that I've actually, that I use.
A video you did on the first pass at making ketchup.
Yeah, one of the first things I'm going to do is try again to make my own ketchup. So that'll be fun.
If you want to see why, we're going to revisit it.
Yeah, feel free in the meantime to go back and see why I'm trying again. I already had dinner and I'm starting to feel hungry again with that description of the soup. This is a very good soup. I've been like playing around with it a little bit. I started with a Food Network Canada recipe that I saw on Instagram, but it was very it was just like a little bland. It was like a soup that was meant for like people who have a cold or something like that, which is nice and good, but I'm trying to like, bring a little jazz to it. How many servings does one cauliflower soup make? I think that this one usually makes 4 servings.
Yeah, it's usually good for a good size dinner portion, and we usually each have a bowl for lunch the next day.
Yeah, it's right around 4, maybe, give or take 4. You can also like add a little more stock and coconut milk to stretch it a little if you needed to, or like, not have a big bowl.
I've never felt like I had to cut back on our dinner portion in order to have lunch portion. So I think it's a pretty solid 4 servings.
Oh, and we have some sourdough bread we're going to have on the side with it. And Mimi, it's nice to see you too. Oh, okay. So I think first thing I should do is look at these Instagram questions and answer one of them. Just to forget.
What if someone asked you a really complex riddle?
That actually, one person did say that they wanted me to talk about life after death, which I thought, I don't know if we're going to touch that one this time.
And I think you are going to post the recipe, right?
Yeah, I'll after this live stream ends, it won't be immediate, but a few minutes after, because I'll probably eat some of the soup first, and then I'll post it in the description. Okay, so question number 1 was, how did you become a personality on Epicurious? I think that this is something I've answered once before in a live stream, but it was like many thousand followers ago, so probably most people haven't. I don't expect you to go back and watch like a live stream from 3 years ago. It seems like an auto white balance is turning on has been changing as you walk. Oh, interesting. I don't know how to fix that, so I'm so sorry, Kevin. Thank you for the heads up.
Stay perfectly still.
I'll try not to like move around too much. Or maybe I have like a white paper I can hold up to like white balance it. Is this interesting? This is sort of white, I guess. No, thank you.
Nice.
That's helpful. I'll take a look at, I always say I'm going to take a look at my streaming equipment before the next time I do these. And then, this is good. It's good. If you hate it, let me know. But
anyway,
I think it's fun. It's like we're on a Zoom call. So how did I get on Epicurious? Okay. So actually I was doing stand-up in New York, and I have my whole life had, well, not my whole life, because I didn't have a resume when I was a baby. That'd be weird. But like my whole work life, I always had like pretty good baker as a special skill. I have always assumed that this is how they found me. I don't actually know that that's the truth. But I had like a comedian resume posted online somewhere, and someone from Epicurious reached out to me. But I think broadly they cast like level 1s and 2s, sometimes out of backstage, sometimes out of like people that like are in their world and that kind of thing, like people who are already cooking or doing comedy. Would they shoot in New York, which is where I am. Pretty much everyone on Epicurious is in the tri-state area. So I think that's true for level 2s, level 3s also, is like it's people who are already in New York and either like to cook or are like professional cooks and are already maybe doing video stuff or comedy stuff. But I don't really know. Honestly, this was like 3.5 years ago. I know how they found me, but like I'm assuming that people are wondering because they're wondering how to get on.
I think we also have like networks with some cooking schools in the area too.
Oh yeah, and so level 3s, a lot of times are ICE people, the Institute of Culinary Education downtown. A lot of them are professors there or former professors there, or like broadly adjuncts and that kind of thing. And they're all great. I have eaten a lot of their food over the last few years, and I gotta tell you, they know their stuff. It tastes good.
A lot of really kind people.
Yeah. Let me check my timers. Okay, I've got 3 minutes until I have to get the garlic out. We're good. What do you think? Should I do another question from there? Does anyone, if you have any questions, like I said, you can put them in the chat also.
Yeah, why don't we do another Instagram question?
Yeah, I'll do another Instagram question real fast. I'm Emily Slam Duncan on Instagram if you're not, if you want to follow or anything. I'm not going to promise anything great, but you can come follow if you want.
That's pretty cool.
Sometimes it's where I remember to make announcements. So I've got, this is an interesting one. Modern avenues for upcoming comics to build a following or platform. I feel like there are 3 ways to become an up-and-coming comic. 1 is you already know someone. 2 is you stumble into it like me. And 3 is you work really hard. But I would say also like, I don't know, I feel like everyone says this, but like make your own stuff. A lot of the opportunities that I've had were from like things that I kind of elbowed my way into versus things that other people were like, oh, come here and do this, you know?
We've seen a lot of friends find venues where they can do regular shows and then build a following there.
That's true. Yeah, totally.
Which is what you were just saying about like doing your own stuff.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I mean, everyone says this, but like put stuff on YouTube, go out and like do stand up or like do sketch or whatever. You know, it's just like put yourself out there a whole bunch and you're gonna fail a lot. But if you want to be a comic, that's a good way to keep. I mean, I feel like I shouldn't even be talking about this because I don't feel like I'm that successful. But thank you for that to that person who asked. Is Rose no longer participating in Epicurious shows? No, she's still on there. She's still on 4 levels for sure, which the one that I became a level 2 on. If you haven't seen that yet, guys, go watch it, please and thank you. But no, she's on there. I don't know. But she's still around. Don't you worry about that. Oh, there goes my garlic alarm.
Should I grab it for you?
Yeah, you wanna? Do you have And good morning from Australia. Good morning. I was telling everybody else earlier. I feel like this is being recorded, so it's weird for me to repeat stories. We're going to do it anyway. I was telling everyone else earlier that I started my morning by accidentally. I opened up my freezer and something fell out and right on my foot. So I hope you have a better morning than I did. It was otherwise fine. What is your favorite and least favorite foods? That's a great question. I do have like a weird love for like buffalo wings and hot dogs. I feel like it's weird to say that those are my favorite foods because I don't like, there's a lot of foods I appreciate more, but those are the things that I like. I'll be sitting at home. I'll be like, wouldn't it be nice if we had hot dogs? Oh my God, my favorite level 2 chef. Oh my God, my favorite comment. Who's your favorite personality on Epicurious? Oh, that I can't answer that. I like everybody. Everybody's really nice. It would be impossible to pick sides.
Really,
not sides. It's not a battle.
They've done a really great job collecting just really kind and funny and interesting and people. And the level 3s are just great teachers also. Yeah,
everyone's like very lovely on Epicurious, to be honest. I feel like I don't have favorites, but it's just because everyone's nice. You might like if there's someone you're like, I don't really like them. I just want you to know that if you met them, you'd be like, actually, they're a delight. It's impossible not to like pretty much everyone I've met there. Hot dogs and mac and cheese. Are those your? Oh yeah. Well, everybody, let me know what your favorite foods are too. Oh, and least favorite foods. Do I have any least favorite foods? I like pretty much everything. I didn't like water chestnuts as a kid because of the texture. I've come around to them though, which is a learning lesson. You know, keep trying things even if you think you don't like them. If you're allergic to them, don't keep trying them. But if you're just like not sure, keep getting in there.
Emily, being Canadian, loves a lot of really not obscure if you're in Canada, but everywhere else, Canadian candies like wine gums and peach rings.
Not peach rings, fuzzy
peaches.
Please.
I'm sorry.
There's a difference, and
I know what you.
One is sour.
I know what you don't like. Hershey's chocolate because it's so different from.
Well, yeah, Hershey's chocolate isn't my favorite. I wouldn't like
refuse it.
Yeah, I'm not like, oh, gross, it's Hershey's chocolate, but it's like it's not my favorite thing in the world. Just in that, like, I would probably rather a lot of other kinds of. Although all the Cadbury you can get in the States for the most part is now made by Hershey.
Yeah.
Which is why it's a little bit worse. I shouldn't even. But if they wanted to sponsor anything that I do, I want them to know that I'm willing to change that opinion at any moment. I love your stream video collabs with Frank Proto. Yeah. Oh, I am a huge fan of Frank. I mean, it's like I said, I'm a fan of everyone. We're gonna have Gabby back on the channel in a few weeks, and I think Frank and I might be also doing another collab sometime in the spring. So stay tuned for that. Frank's the best.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't been to Frank's channel, they should definitely go.
Oh yeah, go. I can't imagine who would be on my channel and not know about Frank's channel, but if
just
you
in case
somehow have gotten here and didn't know, he's at Proto Cooks. I love doing those videos. And in fact, Frank and Karen came to our house like last weekend, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, for Robbie Burns Day, which is one of the other things I said I would talk about on this stream. I started out this month like I'm going to do a Robbie Burns Day like full video. I'm going to like attempt to cook haggis bites. It's going to be a whole thing. That didn't happen. Then I was like, I'm going to make a Robbie Burns Day short, just so everyone knows what Robbie Burns Day is, so they can be ready for it next year. And now I'm just going to tell you about it on this live stream, because that still hasn't happened, and now it's a week and a half ago. Robbie Burns Day is a holiday that they do in Scotland, but also where I'm from in Nova Scotia, that I always liked doing growing up. It kind of brightens up January. Lunar New Year is also very cool, but it's like there aren't otherwise a lot of fun things to do in January, so it's kind of a whiskey and food holiday. The traditional version is like toast, send a sit down dinner and stuff. We don't do that. We like make some friends dinner and like have whiskey, and then it's celebrating the Scottish poet Robert Burns, who wrote Auld Lang Syne, among other things.
An ode to a haggis, which I think Anne asked what was the strangest exotic food you had, and that's probably, haggis is probably up there.
Yeah, probably. I feel like
we're pretty good eaters. We'll
eat I'll eat pretty much anything. I think that's haggis. Well, to me, it's not exotic though, because I come from a place whose name means New Scotland. It was around when I was a kid, but I can see how it is a strange exotic food. I feel like durian was definitely like on a tougher one. I mean, it was good. It was not. I wasn't like, some people have a really like ooh reaction. I was fine, but that one was definitely like funky and hard to get. And not
generally, whenever we go a place, if there's a line for anything, we'll go and try it. And
yeah, we make a policy of eating pretty much whatever. Favorite food is pizza. Least favorite, watermelon. Interesting.
I used to not like watermelon, but it's really grown on me. It might depend on the kind of watermelon you get.
Yeah,
some are like less flavorful than others.
Yeah, and like ripeness also, because like they can be like too watery and mushy, or they can be like too ripe and not so flavorful. There's like a lot of things that can go wrong with a watermelon, I feel like. All dressed chips, or Claude Simeon says it's something like allspice chips. I forget the exact name flavor. All dressed chips. They are the best chips on earth. I mean, yeah, no, they're the best. They're the best chips on earth. They're extremely delicious. At this point, does anyone not have a channel? Actually, that's a really good question. I think that pretty much most of the Epicurious people don't have their own channels, but a few people do. Frank, me. So I have if you go to like the front of the like main page of my channel, I have linked to all the people from Epicurious that I think have their own channels. It's but I think some of them are not like actively uploading, but at the moment that they do, I will invite them on this channel. Is there anything that you wouldn't put ketchup on? Actually, I really don't. I really don't put ketchup on that many things. I'm not like I like ketchup, but I'm not like a weirdo about it. Like the French toast thing, I know seems kind of strange, but that's how I grew up eating it. And it's like we don't put sugar or like vanilla or anything in the French toast. It's just like, it's sort of like putting it on eggs, which I also used to do as a kid, because I thought like I learned this only fairly recently, but like the more you cook eggs, the more they get that like kind of sulfury smell. And for me as a kid, like really cooked scrambled eggs were like the smell really got to me.
You need some
so I put ketchup on it to like, but I now I just cook my eggs correctly for the most part. As Vietnamese, yeah, I know. Yeah, well, it's durian is one of my country's favorite foods. Yeah, and I have been to Vietnam. We went to Hanoi and Ha Long Bay on our honeymoon, and we loved it. We had a really nice time there.
We had a durian ice cream, or we had durian. It wasn't ice cream. It was durian and coconut milk and rice and.
I don't remember the name now, but that was like a Malaysian thing.
Yeah, and when we were in Malaysia, and I thought it was really good. It was very like puddingy.
It was like there was durian in this dish that's like coconut milk and ice and like pandan noodly kind of things.
Yeah.
That was very tasty. I was surprised to know there are cities that don't put ketchup on hot dogs. I grew up with. Yeah, me too. For me, a hot dog is like ketchup and mustard is like the classic. Like I do both. But yeah, I know that Chicago is very anti, and like I respect their space on that one. I wouldn't force them to do it.
I'm waiting for a whole other sauce altogether to go on top of a hot dog.
Relish.
Well,
yeah. Well, and also like when I was like in college, I would do
the crisp dogs.
Yeah, cheese whiz, mustard, and bacon bits on a hot dog.
Oof.
Which I probably wouldn't do now, but honestly, not the worst thing. Yeah, I'll just do find them. You can get them on Amazon. I feel like this is a plug. I don't mean it to be like a plug, but if you go to my website, emily-duncan.com, I have like Amazon links and stuff for some of my favorite things, including all dressed chips, just in case people who watch the channel are ever like, where can I even get that?
Were you telling me that like in Nova Scotia, where you're from, when there are big storms coming, people buy
storm chips? Yes. Okay, this is a big thing in Nova Scotia. I don't think it might be just Nova Scotia. I'm not sure if it's like all the Maritimes or just Nova Scotia, but there's this whole thing called storm chips. You know how like regularly when a storm is coming, people like buy out all the bread and milk? Not in Nova Scotia. They buy out all the chips. And so like there was one time that a big storm was coming and the government was like, guys, you have to buy something other than chips. Like, please, we want you to be safe. But like companies started producing like, there was like a thing called storm chips. There was like a mix of 5 different chip flavors in like one bag. Anyway, it's just a funny little thing. We love chips. The people of Nova Scotia love chips. I do ketchup on like burgers, fries, hot dogs, and chicken patties. I didn't know we can get them in the US. Yeah, you can get them. I mean, they're a little harder to find in the US, the all-dressed chips, but they're out there. I think you can also get them at like Costco or one of those. Frank told me that. I didn't learn that on my own.
Cauliflower's ready.
Cauliflower's ready. Yeah, do you want to pull it out of the oven? What's your favorite memory on Epicurious? Any tidbits behind the scenes? I don't know. I've actually now done, if you include the like 50 people try videos, over 60 videos on Epicurious. So they're starting to kind of like, I don't want to be like blend together.
Can I show people?
Yeah, totally. Oh, here's our roasted cauliflower. Ready for the blender. Forget the toilet paper. We need chips. Yeah, exactly. That's us. I think there was one video where I got everyone to laugh like enough that they kept the crew laughing in the final video. I don't even remember what the joke was. Oh, and cutting the green beans down to size is one of my favorite jokes I've ever made. I don't know. That's not really a behind the scenes thing, but it's a personal moment of pride.
Actually, like over the course of 40 minutes, I've ever saw that wheel of cheese.
Oh yeah, sawing the wheel of cheese was like a life moment because like whoever gets to open an 80-pound wheel of parm on their own. I had a little bit of help from the kitchen staff, but like there's like people who work there like on the regular between Bon Appetit and Epicurious because they share spaces and stuff. But like just because it would have taken like 3 hours for me to do it on my own. But yeah, I basically had the cheese wedges and had to like wiggle them around and stuff, and then I got to like pop it, and then like I was holding like 40 pounds of cheese, which was half of the cheese wheel. That was a really cool experience. All right, we have to make this soup real fast. All right, so yeah, we're gonna move all of our. I wonder if I can like tilt you guys this way. We have to move all of the cauliflower into the blender. Do you want help with this?
Okay.
He's got it. And then we're going to also put the garlic in there and the coconut milk. And I think that's it. And then blend it up. A little bit of stock if it seems too thick. And then we're going to put that all in a big pot and heat it all up together with the rest of the stock. And then separately, I'm going to cook some cannellini beans in this pan that I have here. Oh my God, that cheese video was one of my favorites as well. Yeah, that was really fun. That whole video was like just a treat to get to do. A lot of the pro novice ones are like really fun because I also get to like, you know, even if I'm not hanging out with the other chefs, like it feels a little less, Here. Dan was asking if he should put this in whole, and now I'm going to tell him that he's supposed to take the cloves out of the.
Well, you're supposed to.
You know, you they should just. This is still pretty hot. They should just pop out.
Do you wanna?
I'm gonna hold it with the tin foil because it's toasty. But like 4 levels, I don't even really necessarily know like what's going on with the other chefs sometimes, but like pro novice we get a little bit more like it's a little more interactive and we get to see each other, which is really nice. And I get to do all sorts of insane things like there was a dumpling one that I really enjoyed doing where I had to like crack a king crab leg in the middle of the pandemic.
That was wild. Yeah.
That was really cool. Anyway, I always have a nice time doing that, and like everybody's so nice. It's just like a. Are there any other fun? Oh, with the poutine video, I actually didn't bring the little like Canadian flag. One of the producers got that for me as a surprise. So thank you, Tyree, for that. That was really fun. You talk for a minute while I do this. Dan, how was your day?
Do you get more hand holding on those shows than is shown on video? I'd be terrified to ruin such an awesome ingredient. There were you had a couple of phone a friends with Rose or Rhoda before.
Yeah, or Kelly now.
Yeah, or Kelly.
The new Rhoda, because Rhoda moved to Texas.
Right. So they do give help. I mean, part of the I don't know, as a viewer, I mean, of these shows. It's so neat is that you get to like learn as you go, and I think that there were a bunch of instances where Emily got to actually learn what the techniques that went
like they didn't just give me they told me a little bit about how like the cheese wedges should work, but they didn't like do it for me, you know what I mean, but they gave me the wedges and the wheel, because what else was
it wasn't like the middle challenge of British Bake Off where they're like, here's a list of non-specific steps and good luck.
Well, sometimes it depends on the episode. I mean, just like with British Bake Off, with like that you're talking about, like the technical challenge in the middle, where they just get like, because sometimes they'll get like the ingredients. Well, they get all the ingredients that they need for that, which I get all the ingredients I need, and they get like the name of the recipe, and then they get like more or less steps depending. What else?
Jeff is asking how you got started with 4 levels.
So I started answering that earlier, but basically Epicurious found me on the internet. You can go back and watch the beginning of this live stream after to hear the whole story. Well, I don't even know if I told the whole story. Basically, I was doing comedy in New York and also liked to cook, and I had that on my resume, and it was before 4 levels was like a show.
Right, they were just getting it off the ground, I think.
Yeah, so they were looking for people that could like talk on camera and were interested in cooking. And I interviewed a few different times. I actually interviewed like 6 months before I shot the first episode with them, and then a second time, and then they didn't call me for a while, and I was like, oh, I guess that's not going to happen. And then they did call me, and now here I am. Let's see. Has there been a potluck party with the Epicurious Gang? No, I actually would love to do a get together with everyone from Epicurious. Not to bring the mood down here, but Chef King and I always talked about doing like after the banh mi episode, we had said that we were going to do like a banh mi party where everyone would make sandwiches or like make sandwich ingredients. And then Chef King, as you probably know, recently passed away, which is very sad. He was a really great guy. So no, there hasn't been a potluck party. Would love to do it someday. Would love to see everybody in person or just get together. It's been nice meeting people one-on-one or like in small groups over the years. Lorenzo and Frank and I did an event in New York last June for an olive oil company, Garcia de la Cruz, who are lovely. A very excellent olive oil company.
Very delicious.
And I got to hang out with Gabby and Lorenzo in Spain for a little bit. And then like Gabby's been on the channel. And anyway, everybody's really nice. And like everyone I've met through Pronops is really nice, and I'd love to find more excuses to spend time with them. Let's see. Yeah, I'm really sorry about Chef King too. But yeah, why don't we do another Instagram question? Actually, I'm gonna blend this. So everybody, I guess, cover your ears or like think musical thoughts.
I'm gonna try and pull up another Instagram question.
Oh, we can also turn this oven off. This soup is super easy if you're not also like talking constantly while you do it. This is usually like a 40-minute thing.
Emily, when will your pop-up ketchup themed restaurant open? And what would you call it?
I like that. Probably a pop-up ketchup themed restaurant is an interesting idea. I don't know that it is what I would do even if I were going to do a restaurant pop-up, which I think is very far out of reach for me at this juncture. But I love the idea, and thank you to whoever asked that. That's a very funny question. And I guess if I were going to do that, it would be called what? What's a good tomato pun? Anyone got any ketchup puns? That's a thinker. Yeah. Oh, but I was thinking about this because I saw that the first part of that question earlier, and I was thinking that if I were to do that for some reason, I would probably either make like foods from around the world that have ketchup in them that people don't really think about, like different uses of ketchup, because it really isn't that weird to use ketchup.
No, it's very versatile.
Yeah, it's just that people have a thing about it. Oh, what's that? Oh, just hit stop because I just accidentally hit snooze instead of.
Or we hit the 8-second mark window.
Right. And what? Oh, and I was thinking it would be interesting to do like different historical ketchups or like different definitions of ketchup over time, because ketchup came from like an Indonesian fish sauce kind of sauce, like originally, and then was like brought to the like England and the West broadly through like trade routes and colonization and stuff, where like people were like, what was that sauce I had? I wonder what was in it. And then they just made stuff up.
Did their best.
They just like made stuff up and were like, this could be it. And eventually they landed on tomato.
Ketchup. Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay, wait, I'm gonna hit blend real fast.
Cover your ears.
Oh, this is not on.
There it goes.
Hold, please.
Hit it.
All right, now cover your ears. All right, let's check that for texture. Thanks, cameraman Dan.
Do you want a spatula?
Yeah, that'll work. What do you think? Is that still too chunky?
I kind of like a little heft.
You like old chunk?
Yeah.
Good. Just making sure that coconut milk wasn't sweetened because I can smell it. Just weird.
Do you want me to start the cannellini?
Yeah. Actually, can you get a big pot for this?
Big pot. Yes.
Big pot. I now have tinnitus. Sorry. How has your family reacted to the series with you in it? My parents like it a lot, I think. I don't know. Dan's mom, my mother-in-law, texts me every time a video comes out, so I know she likes it. She's definitely a big Epicurious fan because she's really into recipes and cooking anyway. I think my parents enjoy it.
They're very proud.
They're very proud of me. I think that they would be proud of me. My parents are very nice people, and I think that they would be proud of me if I did anything. I mean, not anything, but like, I think that they're proud of me. What do you think, Dan? You're better at assessing the world.
Mostly, everyone's been very excited, and. We've tried to, I think for Emily's channel, try and mine our families for interesting recipes. Like Emily did a raid of her grandmother's recipe cards.
I'm pouring this into a pot we call Big Boy because it's our Big Boy pot.
It's a large pot.
It's a big pot. That's all.
And there's a lot of really great recipes that your grandparents make, or your uncle or aunt make, or your parents make, and it's meaningful to you, and So a few things that Emily's made.
Adding more chicken stock.
A few things Emily's made on her channel. Harken back to some of the stuff that she grew up.
Is that true?
Well, the Nanaimo bars and.
Oh, Nanaimo bar. Yeah, I didn't even think about like the. Yeah, you're right. Butter tarts and that kind of thing.
The butter tarts were so good. You should watch that video.
Yeah, if you haven't watched the butter tarts episode and/or made butter tarts, you should do that. Yeah. I say.
If you haven't eaten a butter tart yet, I would put that up there with all dressed chips as a task to.
Yeah, they're super. I mean, like other than having to make pie dough, butter tarts are extremely easy. And even pie dough is not so bad. It's I mean, as long as you're willing to have like okay pie dough, it's very easy. If you want perfect pie dough, it's kind of challenging. All right, so I have my soup just heating back up. Now that I've added all of my like liquid to I've blended my cauliflower and garlic. Added a bunch of liquid. I will taste that for seasoning in a second, and we're going to just fry some cannellini beans, basically. Oh, I forgot to put the cannellini beans in the soup. Well, we're trying a new recipe today. I meant to put some of these also in the soup itself, but that'll be all right. You have a nice night too. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna say goodbye to each and every one of you that says goodbye to me. That's a big promise. I don't know. But so I am just I forgot to turn this on also.
Medium?
Yeah, just medium. What was I saying? Do you know? Nothing important. Can't have been important.
Oh,
how's everybody doing?
You're gonna put the beans in.
Oh yeah, I was gonna put the beans in because it adds a little bit of a creamy texture, a little bit but it'll be all right. You know what? I actually have watched QQ a couple times, and I'm a huge Alton Brown fan. So that is the highest compliment. Thank you, Chuck. Do you want to check out one more of the?
Yeah.
While I wait for my oil to get warm.
Let's see.
I just burped a little. I'm sorry. Anything left? Oh, life after death. Oh, tips, tricks. Oh, yes, this is one that I thought was a fun one. Tips or tricks I learned from Epicurious. So this I wanted to talk about this because what I started doing at a certain point was taking notes when I got home from each episode and just saying, writing at least one thing that I learned. For example, cupcakes, do not touch gold leaf with your fingers. That one's in all caps.
Sounds like a story.
Well, yeah. I think you can see that in the video. If not, I definitely immediately put my hands on the gold leaf and it just stuck to my fingers and was very hard to remove. Yeah, or handle. You have to use tweezers. Lobster rolls. I wrote, we're going to need a bigger bun, which is just reflective of my recipe. I needed a bigger bun. It was really good, though. I also wrote, sometimes simplicity can reign supreme. But that's just because I really like just a plain lobster roll. It was a good reminder to myself that doing more isn't necessarily better. Fried chicken, learning to create stations and choosing a hand for wet and a hand for dry. That's huge. Highly recommend. I'm not going to read you all of my notes, but lots of fun lessons there.
One of the things that she always tells me, because I like to be so busy, is to leave stuff alone.
Stop touching stuff. That's one of my biggest cooking lessons. Sometimes to get browning, you can't be constantly flipping your meat. You have to let it cook, as the internet would say. And what else? Yeah, those are some of the big lessons, I think. I just put my garlic into the pan. Then I'm going to add my red pepper flakes. Usually I would use Thai chili peppers or something like that for this, but we're just out of them. If the meat doesn't want to let go, let it go. Yes, that's right, Kevin. Sometimes when things are stuck, it means just don't touch it, because especially with meat or fish, if it's a little stuck, it is cooking and it will release when it is ready.
I wrinkled a lot of salmon skin that way.
Yeah, we do salmon in our cast iron skillet, and it's a frustrating lesson to learn the hard way, but once you learn it, you learn it.
I also
adding my red chili flakes.
Something I've absorbed from you by osmosis really is like weighing stuff sometimes can be it sounds complicated, but if you just get a kitchen scale, it's really easy to do, and it makes it really easy to measure, especially if you don't have the best measuring cups or you don't trust your measuring cups.
Well, it's not just that, it's that like yeah, weight can make a big difference, like especially in baking, like weighing your flour and that kind of thing, because like whether it's a packed cup or a loose cup or a, you know, so like just depending on how you scoop it, even like it doesn't matter whether or not you trust your measuring cup. It's like there's a lot of like people say to like spoon it in for some recipes, but it's like if you have a baking recipe with weights, it's so much better to use that. Which is why, yeah, we have a cooking scale. Which again, I mean, I don't like to plug Amazon because they're, you know,
you can get a cooking scale from a lot of places.
Yeah, but we got ours on Amazon for like $7. So.
And yeah, we've been trying to eat more fish also, just because it's healthier for you than some of the other proteins. And
yeah, and it's good, and it's like you should be mixing up your diet a little, you know, like if fish is out there, it's delicious.
We actually, what did we have last night?
Last night we had I think some haddock that was in the we bought a bunch of it by accident at one point, and so
actually
we had some in the freezer. Oh yeah,
video.
It had still been in the freezer from my ketchup haddock from
like December. I was gonna do the math to find out how long.
Is that like 2 months is all right?
It was still good. It was very delicious. And salmon is really good and easy for the most part.
I'm adding oregano in my beans to the pan.
The thing to be aware of if you're doing salmon is just to know whether or not it's scaled or not. If it's scaled, it's not the end of the world. You just have to. Oh, you see what I'm going to say? You just have to get a knife or something to descale it.
Dan's become our in-house descaler because the grocery stores around our house don't.
Well, some of them do. It's sort of a crapshoot.
They very rarely descale. I'm now doing salt and pepper on the beans.
But it's also like super easy to make delicious. Like all you need to do for salmon is oil, salt, and pepper, and you're gonna have a really good, piece of protein.
Yeah. Totally. Okay, and then from here, we're basically almost done with this. We're just like getting the beans to cook a little bit and warm up. Maybe get a little browning on the sides. I'm gonna stop poking them now. And we're bringing our soup up to temperature, and then like we'll spoon it out. And okay, so for the garnish, I have scallions, fresh lemon juice, salt, pepper, some finishing olive oil from Garcia de la Cruz, with thanks to them, and then we have some sourdough bread. Do you want to toast that?
Yeah, I was thinking. All
right, you being king of toasting the sourdough bread. I feel better buying from Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah, me too. Although, not like I've looked into their like ethical practices or not, but what can you do? I don't want to stand strong on Bed Bath & Beyond definitely being better than Amazon in terms of how they treat people, but like I feel like maybe in my heart. What was the? Oh yeah, tips and tricks from Epicurious. Oh, and yeah, I have some other good ones. I'm trying to remember what they are. Nope, I don't know. But I learned a lot of interesting stuff. So there's that. I have one of my notes is just about Chef Chris Chung's scallion pancakes. They're like pin rolled, what's the word? Rolled like a pinwheel, and that I wrote down and then you like slice it like pinwheels. And I was like mind blown. That's so smart. Which is probably how you do it, but I just didn't know that. And I was like, oh, of course. And they were extremely delicious. Anyway, what else? So leveling up was very cool. I'm very excited about that. I'm back at Epicurious in a couple weeks shooting some new videos with them. And I shot one pro novice like last week or the week before that I guess will come out sometime in the future. And so, I said this a little bit earlier, but just like to reiterate, now that I am level 2, one of the things I'm going to be doing for the next few months on this channel is just revisiting some things that I have bungled in the past. that I have
explored.
that I have learned a lot about since the last time I did them on video, whether it's on this channel or on Epicurious, starting with trying to make ketchup again, which I have a strong feeling is totally going to go better this time.
I want you to try and eat 100 chicken nuggets again.
Yeah.
In one sitting.
I mean, like, maybe I can do it now. I'm stronger now. I'm more powerful.
That was one of the things that I was thinking about as one of my favorite Emily cooking video memories. Because you were just so sure that you could eat 100 chicken nuggets in one sitting.
Yeah, I really was.
It's hard to do. Don't try it.
I was so sure. It's true. I'm doing, if you're in New York, I'm doing an event at, what's it called? Mercado Central, which is the Spanish goods store in like the Park Slope area that some of our friends own. We're going to be doing a tinned fish date night event on Friday of this week. That's sort of Valentine's Day themed. I feel like this is probably something that is not like I don't know if any of you are in Brooklyn, but like on the off chance you are, or someone watching this later is.
You're just a big tinned fish aficionado.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that. You can get tickets to that on their website. I have like I've been working on a recipe that'll be in the gift bags. Oh, there's also gift bags. And yeah, it's called Buy a Fishy for Your Squishy. And we'll be like making some tinned fish stuff. But I will also be sharing that tinned fish pasta recipe on the internet, either on my newsletter, The Kitchen Dispatch, or on YouTube, or both. I'm very excited about that because I made the pasta the other day and it was very good. You like that pasta, right?
Fantastic.
Yeah, that was really good pasta. Do I have any other like interesting life updates? How's everybody else doing? What's life like? Any big plans for February? Anybody traveling? How about you, Dan?
Nope, I'm staying put.
I watched like 4 videos on how to make chocolate chip cookies today. I don't know. I was having a weird day. I watched like 4 different videos on chocolate chip cookies, so I think I might make chocolate chip cookies tomorrow. I have always historically been pro chip, despite the fact that conventional wisdom across the baking world is that you should use the fevs or like discs.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like the Jacques Torres recipe that everybody loves, which is extremely good. Uses the fevs or the discs, which like spread out more and create like layers of chocolate. But I personally kind of like the chips, but I don't know. Maybe I'm going to try out some new things and see if I'm wrong. Hey, Emily, congratulations on level 2. Thank you so much. I am excited about it. People have been asking me like what the qualification is, and the truth is that I'm not 100% sure. I do think that they have like a rubric somewhere maybe, but like I think that around the time that I had to make ravioli al uovo and successfully did it, they were like, all right. But hey, they put me in that position, so haha. Not that, I mean, I don't have like that makes it sound like I'm in a battle with Epicurious. They are very much my friends and I love them.
Kyle, that sounds fun.
I'm going to Arizona for my boyfriend's cousin's wedding, or best friend's cousin's wedding.
His name is Kyle.
Or your best friend who is your cousin's wedding. His name is Kyle. It's good to have, it's good to have a bunch of the same name, because then you don't have to like learn too much. Remember too many names. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I have one of the more
I'm trying to
common
look at the
names
beans at the same time.
I have one of the more common names of the mid-'80s, and so it's pretty easy to get my attention and like 6 other people around me at any given time.
Yeah, I feel like we're both of the name group where like we would be in camp and we would all have to have a nickname. You know, no one gets to just be Emily or Dan. Yeah. In our age group when we were in like summer camps and stuff like that. All right, I think that we are ready to serve this up.
It smells really good.
It does smell really good.
Is it a ladling situation?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see you ladle. I just got a new car. Oh, actually, what are you cooking starting at the moment? I'm a little rifle to this room. Oh, I am making roasted cauliflower and roasted garlic soup with a little cannellini bean topping. And I'm just about to serve it up. So this is roasted cauliflower with a whole head of roasted garlic, coconut milk, and chicken stock. And then this is cannellini beans with hot peppers, oregano, salt and pepper, and garlic. And going to Arizona, I just got a new car, so probably keeping February fairly low key other than my young niece's birthday party. Happy birthday to your young niece. And thank you. I'm very excited for this dinner. All right, let's do this. Ladle.
Check.
I'll give this an extra stir.
Our bread's about to be ready as well.
Nice. Let me give it one more. Okay.
That is our bread beeping. It's not an attack. Or a fire.
Well, can you imagine if it was? Tough to explain. All right. Soup and soup. Now I'm going to put my beans on top.
Toast.
I'm going heavy on the beans.
The garlic. If anyone's wondering what it smells like in here, it's like I'm getting like a lot of the garlic, some of the coconut milk.
All right, I'm putting some of the lemon juice on top. Oh, do you want to grab the good olive oil?
Sure.
I mean, they're all good olive oils, but there's like a best olive oil, you know? It's the little guy. Ooh, I'm seeing new messages. Enjoy dinner. My kid's birthday is coming up, so I'm supposed to be cake and cupcake baking, but sciatica. Oh, I have a herniated disc, actually, a little overshare there, but and it's been really, really difficult. So I feel your pain. Dinner sounds delicious. I'm very excited. How cold is it there? Okay, so now it's much warmer, but it was very cold this past weekend. How cold was it? Do you remember? It was like -15 Celsius.
Yeah, I think so. It was like 2 Fahrenheit.
Scallions.
But the wind chill made it a lot colder.
So I'm garnishing this. Everybody knows this. I'm just going to say it again. I'm garnishing this with lemon juice and scallions. And then I have my early harvest finishing olive oil. Did I forget to turn this up? I hear bubbling.
I think you are going to do. Someone asked. Theft Prevention asked if you're going to do another video of Frank, and I think you've got something maybe in the works.
Yeah, we talked about doing another video in the next like month or two. I don't want to like lock him in because we haven't officially scheduled it yet, but we've been talking about doing one. So I think that yes, there will be one very soon. Pepper.
And Jeff, sadly, I don't get to participate. There was over the pandemic, they had no choice but to like have me help because
that's true. You can see Dan's like wrists in a couple videos.
Yeah. But mostly, if I'm lucky, Emily brings back a little bit of a leftover, and I get to taste it.
I'm grabbing spoons.
But I am always super jealous.
Yeah, Dan gets. I try to like bring home leftovers as much as is humanly possible for Dan. But yeah, I don't even. Well, no, that's not true. Sometimes I get to try the other level's food, but like as leftovers a lot of the time. Is this giving away too much of how the sausage is made? I don't know. Yeah, I know. It was like I thought it was gonna be really cold, and then it was like kind of warm out today. Okay, we're gonna taste our soup.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Come. That's great.
I'm gonna tilt you guys down so you can see it. Did that work? Yeah.
It's working. It's garlicky and lemony. It's got a little bit of body from the cauliflower that is still a little chunky.
Yeah, it's interesting. We used a different brand of coconut milk than usual, and I feel like I can really taste the coconut milk. It tastes very good. It's just like weird because it's not the same. It's not exactly the same, but it's like it's very. Yeah, I love this. With the scallions are just like it brings that like oniony like crisp freshness, and then like the lemon again is super bright, and then like everything else is just kind of like cozy and warm and tasty.
Yeah.
Roasty and garlicky. It's a lot of garlic. It's a very garlic forward soup, which I like.
That's my favorite.
Okay. I said this was going to go to 7:30, so I'm going to let everybody go because I just realized how late it is. But thank you so much for being here and hanging out. I hope you're all doing great. And like, yeah, I don't know. I hope you have a great February. I'll be back with more videos super soon. I have one already shot. I'm shooting another in the next couple days. And so stay tuned, you know.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, bye. Have a good one. Take care. Stay warm.
Bye-bye.